Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another Friday Live with Karwana D, your government contract strategist. And today I just want to invite you all in to join me in an Ask Anything session. Anything about government contracts that you want to know today, I'm going to get some questions answered for you. Now, here's the thing that we're going to do, and this is the first time we're going to try this for the first time. It's going to be live, and I think it's going to be fun. Okay. So for those of you who have had burning questions, and I mean meaningful questions, not just how do I get started with government contracts? Well, you can Google that. You can watch all of my YouTube videos to learn how to do that. But I mean meaningful questions that you've been pondering and wondering of how to get to your next step. That's what I want to help you with today. Okay. So if you ask some questions in the chat, go ahead and drop your questions now because a few of you we're going to pick and we're going to give you a link. My team is going to reach out to give you a link to join me live in this live session. Others, I'm going to, of course, try to get to your questions through here as well. But a couple of you are going to be lucky to get your questions answered live. Now, here's the thing. Now, to have a 30-minute consult with me, my fee is normally about $200 per 30 minutes, right? Or that's average about $400 per hour for an hour consult. Today, I am gifting my expertise to you by answering the questions that you have that's going to help you get to the next step wherever you are, wherever you're stuck, whatever you want to know, that's going to help you get started or propel your business to the next level. That's what I want to ask. So go ahead and drop those questions inside the chat. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. If you are excited, also, yay. Also, drop me a number one if you are excited about today's topic and all the questions that I'm going to get to answer for you all. So I want to say hello to some of you that are joining me now. I see those. I see Elaine. Let's see, Yvette, good afternoon. Lawan, thank you. Let's see, Quality Assurance from Virginia. Trophinia, hello. Kamisha Thomas, we're going to get this bag. Yes, we're going to get it. We're going to get it together. All right. Let's see, hello from New Jersey. Jacqueline, Christina, Anna from Texas, Euro. I hope I said that right. Euro from, well, it doesn't say, just say hello. Euro Strickland. Danetto's Queen, the money queen. Good morning. Okay, cool. All right, great questions. Drop those questions. So my team is going to be reaching out to you. So wherever you are, whether you're joining on YouTube, whether you're in GovCon Insider, my team is going to be reaching out to you to give you a link to join me live. So you'll be in the waiting room and I'm going to bring you onto the screen in just a moment. But first, I want to share a little bit about who I am for those who are joining first time. I am Karwana D. I'm a government contract strategist. I help women and minority small business owners learn how to grow profitable businesses with government contracts. And we're not talking about a little bit of money here and there, a little win. We're talking about changing income, right? $250,000, $500,000, $1 million contracts. This stuff is really life changing. So if you've been on the fence trying to figure out if you should invest in the educational knowledge you need to start doing business with the government, then hopefully that will answer your question. Do you have, will you get a return on your income? I don't know. Because on your investment, I don't know, because will you do the work? And if you will do the work, then heck yeah, you will get the more than a return on your investment. I mean, that will look like pennies to you. So ask Gloria, ask Gloria, who invested a little under 5,000 actually landed $250,000 contract, or ask Tim, who invested $500 and landed a $50,000 first contract. So of course, you're always going to get your return on investment no matter where you're investing your money, as long as you do the work. And that is true for any type of coaching program that I've seen. If you do the work, you will get the promised results. So if you're here to do the work, then I'm going to show you exactly how to get the promised results. Okay. We don't leave any stones unturned. Plus, we over deliver and give you a lot more than what you signed up for. So join here. There's a link in the link right here. So join this link. Too bad we didn't have a short link or anything like that. But join here if you have a burning question that you would like to be chosen to come on live. So I may not be able to get everyone on the screen live, but I will go around and pick as many of you as I possibly can. Okay, cool. So let me see. But we do have some questions here, and I'm going to first choose from some of the most commonly asked questions that my team have put together. I saw one that was really interesting. Let me see. Okay. This is one of the most commonly asked questions that my team has put together that we normally get in our inboxes or via email or some of those things or on YouTube in the comments and on Facebook. So this particular question, while we're waiting for you guys to click on the link, not click the link, but join us on the live here. This is one of the questions that I want to share. So one of the questions is, are government contracts the same as grants? Okay. People get it twisted. No. A lot of times I get, oh, I'm glad you're doing government grants. No, different, right? There's a difference. So, and here's the difference. A grant is something you never have to work for. All you do is submit an application and they're either going to award you the free money or they're not, right? So that's free money that you apply for. Contracts, however, is a customer. There's a client attached to that, which means that you have a deliverable, right? You have to actually provide the service or provide the products in order to get paid. You have to invoice to get paid. That's just like if I walk into a store and pick up something off the counter, I got to pay for that, right? So they have to give it to me in order to get paid, right? And that's how that works. So that's the difference between government contracts and grants. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies things about government contracting and grants, the question that you have around that. But and another thing is, free money is always great, right? Shout out to Shantae Roddy of She Boss Talk. So if you go to shebosstalk.com, everything that you want to know about grants and free money is there, right? She's an excellent, coach on free money. And she can show you exactly how to go after that. Now, government contracting is something that is life-changing. Like this is something that's more sustainable, something that's not going to come free and it's a one and done. This is something that you could do over and over and over for the life of your business until you decide that you are ready to retire yourself from that business. So we have some people that are here live. Desiree, I see that you are here. So you're another person, Yvette. Hi, Yvette. And then there's a quality assurance. I don't know. It says quality assurance. So maybe that's the name of your business, but I'm going to bring you guys on. So we have Desiree. I'm going to bring you up on the screen first to ask the burning question that you have. And some of the questions that you guys have inside the chat, I'm going to get to those questions as well. So, Desiree, can you hear me? Okay. So it looks like you have bad audio. I don't know. Okay, we can hear you now. Yes. It's a little choppy. It's a little choppy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to you. And what I will have you do is turn off your camera and maybe we can get better audio. Okay. Because you have choppy. I don't know if the internet is just choppy where you are, but we're going to bring up Yvette. You are up. It is your lucky day. We're going to answer your questions that you have about government contracts. Hi, Yvette.
Okay, so I have multiple NAGS codes. So I work in investigations, I work in firearms and consulting. As a small business, do I have to list investigations because that's my primary? And then I list all the other NAGS codes and SAMs.
Okay, so and ask that question again. But first, I want you to start with something that you're really grateful for. I want you to start with that. One thing that you're really grateful for, and then can you rephrase the question so I can understand? Because I think you answered your own question, but I need to hear that again. Oh, did she freeze? Is she frozen? Okay. I don't know what's going on with everybody's internet today. Is she back? Okay. So I'm going to come back. So here's what I want you to do. So before you go into your question, I want you to say one amazing thing that you have accomplished or something that you're really grateful for, right? How you found us, and then go into your question. And I'm going to answer that question for you. So we're going to bring you up. Quality assurance. Are you ready?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hi. What's your name? What's your name?
So my real name is Larry Williams. So,
Larry? Okay.
Yeah, Larry.
All right. Hi, Larry. So cool.
So one thing I'm thankful for, life, I guess. Experiencing a couple losses in the family lately. So, reflecting on that. Accomplishments. I'm about to complete my bachelor's degree in engineering in February. So
awesome.
Working hard.
Congratulations.
And I found you because I was just kind of surfing the web. I am in the military and we work with a lot of different contracts, and you hear about it a lot, like government contracting is the way to go. So
Yeah.
I kind of started exploring it a little bit because after I finished my degree, I kind of came to the realization as I'm like at the end that being a high earner eventually was my goal. But then I kind of realized that ultimately I want freedom, just not to be rich, but to have freedom, which is money and stuff like that. But the goal is
Yeah.
not to just be rich, it's to be free. So
Absolutely.
I started looking at different things, trucking, different businesses I can start once I'm done. And government contracting came up, and I still started looking at a bunch of different people on YouTube, Instagram, and I came across you a few weeks ago. And I just really like the content, the honesty, real genuine personality that you have. So
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, cool. So what question can I answer for you?
okay, so for myself, I do not have a business at all, but I've seen in government contracting the subcontracting business model, I guess.
Mhm.
How viable is that? And just can you speak on it at all
Yeah,
for someone that
sure.
doesn't have a niche
Yeah,
business per
yeah.
se?
Oh, absolutely. So as far as subcontracting, in fact, if you're like terrified of paperwork and all that stuff, subcontracting will be the way to go, the best way to get started. And the reason why I say that is because number one, is less reporting that you have to do, less paperwork, right? So the prime is the one that will be responsible for all the documentation, meeting the goals, all the deliverables or whatever. So you have your scope of work that you are responsible for. And then you're invoicing, right, as you go. So is it a viable business model to do subcontracting only? Yeah, you can make really good money doing subcontracting. Absolutely. In fact, 90% of the contracts that I have are subcontracts. And that's simply because I don't want the responsibility of doing all of this paperwork. And that's like, you can work very part-time and make really good money. Like we're talking about multiple six figures. Being a high earner is like in the multiple six figures, if not half a million, a quarter, or a million, or whatever. And so, yeah, absolutely, it's a viable way. And it's something that's very doable. Also, at some point, if you want to, you can take that experience and actually, easily become a prime contractor because you've seen how projects work. You've seen how they build teams together. You've seen, at the reporting, like what they reported at the end of the day and all that stuff. So that experience behind the scenes prepares you, right, to be on the forefront of contracting opportunities. So great question. Hope I answered that for you.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool. So I'm going to pick, before we bring your Yvette back up, I'm going to pick a random question from the chat. Because we want to make sure we get your questions answered as well. But if you be so bold that you want to join us on the live and ask your question live, make sure that you click on the link or copy paste the link and join us in the live. Okay, so we're going to pick from our waiting room. All right, so we have the money queen, the Nettles queen. Your question was, how long do you have to be in business to get a government contract? And the answer to you is you'll hear a lot of information about this around this particular question. You'll hear a lot of misinformation that can misguide you and help and make you miss out on your opportunity to grow a thriving business today. Okay, so do you have to be in business for 2 to 3 years? No, you don't. You can be in business for 6 weeks and actually start doing business with the government. So the only thing that they have to find when you're actually going through the SAM certification part is that you have an EIN. If you get that EIN, wait 72 hours later, and you start getting all your other business documents together, they're going to find that EIN. If you get your Dun and Brad, which normally take like a week, so it could be weeks, right? You can be weeks in business and get started, right? So I actually have had some people, join the program just getting started, and I actually start landing contracts within 3 to 6 months. And this is like brand new startup businesses. So typically, traditionally, we've been taught, of course, when you start a business, it takes 2 to 5 years, or you got to wait this long or that long in order to turn a profit. But with government contracting, you can start a business today and within, several weeks be on your way to landing your first contract. Another thing that I want to say, that in some cases, like on the city level, sometimes they say you have to be in business for 6 months in order to qualify for a specific certification that allows you to get participate in that set aside contract for a local business. So 6 months, sometimes it's 12 months, but that does not mean that you can't still bid on city projects as a regular business. And it does not mean that you can't start with the federal and state. Right. And sometimes the federal and state funded projects are provided on the local level. So your federal certification, if it's on the local level, you can actually do that while you're waiting your 6 months in time. So I say you definitely want to make sure that you have, you position yourself with the different certifications that you need to open up local, state, and federal, right? And then just, do your certifications or whatever, and then you can just go ahead and start bidding, right, as those certifications become complete. All right, so hopefully that answers your questions. Doneto's Queen. Next, we have Yvette Brown. We're going to bring you back. Hopefully, you had a chance to restart your computer so that it doesn't freeze up. I don't know what happened, but we want to get your question answered for you.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
So I have more than one, or I have like 3 different NAGS codes for the industries. So I have investigations, firearms, and consulting. But investigations is my primary. So do I have to list that primary NAGS code in SAMS?
Yes.
Or, okay. Is that a requirement?
So no, it's not a required. You can list any code as your primary. So in SAM, you can list as many codes as you want. They're going to ask you which one is the primary, and that's the one that you choose.
Okay, and there's no limit to how many you can list in SAMS?
No, not at all.
All right, very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, so let me bring up the link again for those who want to join live and ask your question live. Where is the link? It got embedded. Is this it? Okay, so join here if you have questions and you want to ask it live. Okay, we have a waiting room. We're going to pull you out of the waiting room and pull you onto the screen so that you can ask your question live. So I'm going to go to our randomly asked questions submitted from our team. Oh, here's a good one. Are government contracts, for nonprofit organizations? That's a good one, right? Because I get that all the time. Can you do government contracting if you're a nonprofit? Yes. Now, certain certifications you cannot get because you have to be a for-profit business in order to get that certification. However, there are like local city levels of certifications as a local business that do also have a local nonprofit certification, right, as a local business. And you can actually do contracting under that as well. Outside of having that certification, they're in your city. Normally it's in the city and county level. I mean, of course they work with nonprofits. They have all different types of nonprofit purpose driven type of opportunities for you to either feed the homeless, house the homeless, work on like financial literacy in certain urban communities, or help with infrastructure, whatever it is, like help with small business, development and all that stuff. So they have a lot of nonprofit type of community-based contracting opportunities. So yes, and yes, you can absolutely do business with the government. All right. So hopefully that answers the question that was, those questions of people who had that question about nonprofits, if you have a nonprofit. And the thing about nonprofit, I want to speak on that just a moment. I see some people in the waiting room. Nonprofits are for-profit businesses too, right? Not really, but technically a nonprofit still has to make a profit in order for that nonprofit to run. So the only benefit of having that 501c3, that nonprofit portion of it is for tax purposes. So you still have to make money in business, right? Nobody's just doing stuff for free full time, right? You have to pay yourself. If you're running a nonprofit, you have to actually have grants and funding and a way to make money. And you can have what's called a social enterprise, which is like a for-profit portion of your nonprofit business to bring in more money. So that is a quick tip, but of course you definitely always want to seek business legal counsel for clarification of what that would look like in your particular business. So we're going to bring up, we have Kamisha and Vicky Green. So I'm going to bring Kamisha up and I want you to start with something you're grateful for, how you found us, and then your question.
Something I'm grateful for life, grateful for every day. Grateful for finding this avenue. I'm into I haven't got it, well, kind of got it started, but depending on my government contracting to fund my logistics part of it, box truck, as well as the young man before. Grateful for the information. It's listening to you is kind of simpler. It's as doctors would say, layman's terms. My question was, what is the difference between subcontracting and being a vendor? Like, do I have to, I found my niche the other day when you listed the 25. I liked it, the first one, paper goods.
Yeah.
Because down here we have some place that calls Dade Paper. And they offer for you to be a vendor. And that was surprising to me. So if I want to get into it and I want to make what it is, federal, city, state, county, whatever it is, as the paper avenue, what would be the difference? Do I need a reseller license? I've been listening to you a long time and I've been writing down a lot of notes, so I try my best.
Yeah, so usually if you're going to be in the like selling products business, you do need to have some type of reseller's license, and normally you would check with your city and county to get that license to sell. And here's the answer to the question about vendors versus like contractors. So and there's two different types of, let me see, how do I put that? There's two different ways to look at a vendor, right? Number one, you can have a vendor account with a company that provide products, right?
That's what that's what the company is allowing you to do, to be a vendor.
Yes. Okay. So having them as a vendor, which means that they're going to be your supplier. They normally will give you 30, 60, 90 days to pay off whatever they supply, right? And that's cool, right? And that is a part of like building business credit. So basically you have your business, they're going to give you a line of credit where you can actually get all the products that you want and then not have to pay it for like 30, 60 or 90 days, depending on, what they approve you for. So that's a really great way to actually, to start that paper business or that supplier business. Yeah.
So obtain the contract first, present them with the contract so that they will know what I need to be filled. And it'll also have the date and the time that I need to fulfill that on the contract.
Yeah, it'll have all that. So what you want to do is like, so you're looking at a contracting opportunity. And it says, hey, we need 1,000 realms of paper, right? So now you know ahead of time, you need 1,000 realms of paper. You've already set up your vendor relationship with that paper company. And so you're letting them know, hey, if I get this contract, I'm going to buy from you guys. Give me the best pricing. So when you respond to that contracting opportunity, you want to get that best pricing and then do your markup. And that's going to be your quote to them. So when you get the contract, now it's just like get the paper, deliver it, invoice, get paid.
Okay, you just said something that kind of sparked a little thing. When I bring them the contract, is it possible for them to, for the choice of bad words, front me the product so that I can deliver it to the government, get paid, and then pay them?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what a vendor account is. That's where the 30, 90 day come in. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have that,
thank you.
You want to, develop that relationship ahead of time, like become a vendor now. Yeah.
Okay. So that no matter what I bring them, they'll always know, and we'll always have that communication between us that I'm going to present them with some type of paperwork to meet a demand, and then I'll go ahead, they'll fulfill it for me.
Exactly. So they'll so they're not gonna fulfill it for they'll fulfill it for you through you though. So you're
Yes,
the
yes,
one
yes,
that's
yes.
gonna be
Provide me
delivering.
with the items, the
Exactly.
product.
Yeah, you just gotta
Thank
let
you
them
so
know. So
much.
you don't necessarily gotta give them the contract. You just gotta let them know this is what I need, right? And give your
Oh,
best
okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
price. You're welcome.
All
All
right.
right, cool. All right. Who we have up next? So we have Vicky Green. You can bring her up. Hi, hi Vicky. So starting with what you're grateful for, how you found us, and then also your question. So I'm gonna go off the screen quickly for a quick second, but you can go ahead and get started. So starting
Hi.
with what you're grateful for, how you found us.
So I found y'all on YouTube. I was opening up my own business, driving a box truck. So I ran across Miss Kwame. I ran across you, and I really like the information. On YouTube, I was opening up my own. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's like
So I ran across.
mute your let me see. The host has unmuted your mic.
And I really
Well,
like
maybe I'll mute. Maybe I'll mute.
So what I do now? Because it seems like I'm talking and then it's recording it and read back.
Yeah, because you had your volume up so loud. I guess it was echoing back.
So what I do now? Because it seems like I'm talking.
Okay, so we'll come back. We'll come back to her.
Okay.
You had your volume up so loud. I don't know why it's echoing like that. So yeah, that was strange. So Desiree, hello. Now we don't have no audio on you. Let me see. Unmute. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hi. Good afternoon. I'm Desiree. I'm calling from Alabama. What am I grateful for? I am grateful for God's tender mercy and his amazing grace. How did I come across you? I was actually on the computer on YouTube and you popped up. But the one thing that I connected with was the fact that you said, I am. So with that, I said, oh, well, let me listen to you. And it's amazing because my husband and I, we are both veterans
Mm-hmm.
and we actually make barbecue sauce. But as I was listening, I was interested in getting the contract for the package barbecue sauce. But my question was, I'm just trying to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And use the skills that God put in me. But the one question I had for you, ma'am, was we are actually looking for a company who will manufacture the barbecue sauce and put it in the so they can be condiments. And I just wanted to know, how do I go about doing that?
Okay, yeah. So good question. So ideally, you like normally when people want to do like those type of contracting opportunities, either they have a special barbecue sauce or something like that that they provide, that they already manufacture and cook up and whatever and sell that to the government, or you go through like a third party. So basically, just like the other young lady who was on had a vendor account with a paper company. She want to sell paper, so you can have a relationship with a barbecue company that already sells sauce. So it doesn't necessarily have to have your brand on it or whatever. It could be Hickory's barbecue, and you provide if
Yeah.
that's what if they want so many barbecue, you can say, oh well, here's Hickory's. Right. So you can do that. But you can also like if you have something that you want, is it something that you want to get manufactured, then you definitely want to, you could just do some research on basically Google is the best research tool ever, because you can just Google like manufacturing companies for sauces or for barbecue sauce or whatever, or just condiment manufacturing companies. Just Google that and just kind of start doing some research on who would be the best manufacturer for your sauces in particular.
Okay, and in doing that, ma'am, and getting the contract,
Mm-hmm.
I will have to state in that contract that I will be using them as vendors. How will the verbiage be? Because I was listening to the other young man, but how would that verbiage be in the contract since we are not the one that's producing the condom?
Yeah, no, so it's gonna, so the contract actually, it comes from the agency. Like the verbiage that's in the contract will come from the agency. They all put different verbiage, so it'll be different. It'll be a case by case basis or whatever. But ideally, it will be something that would not say. It may say we only want this brand, or it may say we want to, any brand or open brand. So it just depends. It just depends on what it is that you're looking at. So that would be the first thing, is to just kind of figure out, like, whatever it is that you want to manufacture. You have a special sauce and you want to make it up. Find out who can cook that up for you, and have it or warehouse it or whatever. But I would just do that part first and then start looking at opportunities. Or you can actually start looking at opportunities and just use other brands that's already out there that you can just buy in bulk and sell it to the government.
And I will use them as a vendor as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dan. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Awesome. So great. So these are really great questions. Super. This is our, first time bringing people on live with us to ask questions. So I hope that this is meaningful for you, but also hopefully that you're asking meaningful questions that's really going to help you, right? Really burning questions that's going to help you move the needle, because this is really what today's session really is all about. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to do the Ask Me Anything thing again, but today I wanted to be able to, do something special for you guys. So anyway, we have Lawan coming up next, and you're in the waiting room. And before we bring you onto the screen, I want to grab a random question from the chat. So let me see. Who is here to have a grateful? Do I have, what's the difference? Okay, so how can I register? Okay, so here we go. Kamisha. I think I've seen this name a million times, maybe. I don't know. But looks very familiar. So Kamisha, hello and welcome. So how can I register my business as an African-American woman-owned minority? Great question. So on the local city and county level, check with your city and county. Normally they have either a small business type of certification. Sometimes they also have woman-owned certification for the local, as well as minority-owned for the local. Now on the state level, they definitely have woman and minority certification. So check with your state for small business certification. So Google that, whatever state you're in. So if you're in the state of Georgia, put Georgia State small business certifications, and it'll come up. It'll say certified for women-owned, certified for minority-owned, right? So whatever certifications that you want, you can go ahead and get that done. Let me see, what else is there? For the federal, of course, you go for the woman-owned federal certification, you will go to certified.beta.sam.gov or something like that. Beta.certify or something like that. I can't even remember what. Look, beta.sam.sba.gov. Yeah, beta.sam.sba.gov. I'm looking at Lawan's lips. She's like beta. But they done switched it around. But anyway, just Google WOSB certification. It'll come up. So, but anyway, we have Lawan coming to the screen. Yeah, share it.
Hey. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Kawana. I'm finally grateful, to meet you here on this live. So it's an awesome opportunity. I'm grateful to be off today and just relaxing. I'm here chilling at the house in the bed. But I am a government contracting officer for the Department of Defense right here at the Pentagon. And I love your platform here. I love the fact that you are educating Black-owned, women-owned small businesses to inform them of the opportunities that are out here for them.
Thank you.
My biggest question, and I believe this question may in fact even help someone else, when starting getting your business up and running. And you have the platform of woman-owned small business, all of these social economic statuses, including that 8A status. Is it smart to get into the 8A when you first get started, or is it better to wait until you've developed some type of past performance?
Yep. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. And I have addressed this before. I always say for my clients, I always tell them it's smart to wait, because the reason why I say that is because it's like, playing a deck of cards or playing dominoes, right? You have to be strategic when it comes to government contracting, and you want to know when to roll out what. So the first thing you want to do is take the basic certifications, right? The woman, minority, small business, local enterprise, those things, and start winning contracts. Now, the 8A program is designed because the thing about the 8A program, and the reason why you want to wait, is because it's only a 9 years and you're out, right? So you don't want to start going in 9 years and you're confused trying to figure things out, and you're a baby and you're not really winning those big ones and stuff like that. And then before you know it, 5 years have passed and now you have 4 years and you're like, oh, let me figure it out now, right? Because that particular program will connect you with mentor proteges, and also help you like build capacity and work with you on like your company infrastructure and all that stuff that you need to take your company from millions to multiple billions, right? So you want to get to the millions first and use these small certification levels to where you're almost ready to graduate, right? Graduating mean like making 30 millions a month and whatever, right? To get into the 8A program, and then let the 8A program take you to billions, right? The multiple billions. So that is strategy, right? That's how you use, that's how you take advantage of that whole entire 9 years, right? Just imagine going in now, you're already successful, you're already making, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or whatever. And now you have 9 years of like mentorship, growth, capacity, and people who can help you take your business to the next level, to where you don't even need, of course, any small business or, programs anymore. Now you can hire other people or whatever it is that you want to do. Right. So yeah, that's the answer to your question.
So we're out there. We're Department of Defense. We're on beta.sam.gov. And there's plenty of opportunities out there for small business. I do a lot of professional services and products. We do a lot of, I don't know if you're familiar with the ESI Chest site, where we go and do the hardware. There's hardware buys there. We also contract out with the NASA Soup site, where they do software buys for, things like that. So I know someone was asking about the vendor versus the being what did you say? Vendor versus whatever the other thing was. But I know that with partnering with some of these contractors, you have to have an authorized distributor's vendor license or something like that in order to sell their product. Like, say, for instance, you're selling a Dell computer or any type of Dell product, you would have to have that authorization through that company to sell their product. So this is an excellent platform, Kawana. I appreciate you and all of your education. I'm going to be sending people your way. So
look, I hope y'all wrote down all of those nuggets that she dropped. You do procurement for the Department of Defense.
Yeah, contracting officer. I actually sign your contracts now.
So if people want to connect with you, can they email you to like get on like a contractors list or something like that?
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And I can leave that for you if you want to share it, or
you can say it now, and then we'll put it on the screen. So
sure, absolutely. It's lawan.d.ferguson.civ, @mail.mil. They have to give us all of the little special codes and everything,
Right.
So if you reach out to me there, I can definitely, push your company over to our small business director that actually helps us there in our office.
This is awesome.
That's just one office. I mean, you got many government agencies that do things differently. So with Department of Defense, if you go on, I think it's, they have so many platforms that show you the spending plan for the government. And if you go onto some of these sites, you'll see how much the Department of Defense spends on an annual or on a monthly or on a bi-week, or try whatever, So, but those things are out there for you to look. Everything is free, but I do love your platform. And I believe I'm probably going to, after my retirement, I'm coming up on 30 years this year. Woo, woo, woo. So after my retirement, I'll be reaching out to you.
Awesome. Stacia, did you get her email so we can put it on the screen?
It's Lawan, LAWAN .D as in Denise .Ferguson FERGUSON .CIV at mail MAIL .mil MIL.
Mail. Okay. So I think I have that right. Let me go ahead and throw that on the screen. But thank you so much for the nuggets. I'm pretty sure that's valuable. So if you guys did pick that up, hopefully I got that right. Or I put mail.mil, but it's meal.mil.
No, that's right. That's correct. That's
mail.mil? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys
mail.mil.
did pick that up, definitely, like, if you're in the, professional products and services or whatever, reach out to Lawan and make sure that you let her know what you do. So that by itself is worth just being here for today. So thank you so much. I'm actually going to be reaching out to you as well. We appreciate you for being here and sharing that information.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Cool. All right. So, so that was super awesome. There is her email for those who want to reach out to Lawan to get connected to the Department of Defense. That's huge. That's a door in. We're talking about building relationships, nurturing relationships and all that stuff. So I'm actually, Lawan, if you're still watching, I'm actually going to I want to reach out to you because I want to have you come on, one of the future shows and whatever. And we're just going to talk about Department of Defense, different types of opportunities that are there. And we'll go more into details there. Okay, cool. All right. So what we have, will this be recorded? Yes, Saxon. Yes, it will be recorded so you can watch it later. Let me see. Do we have another question? Let me see. Lawan. Okay. Hello. Oh, there's a couple questions in there for you. Let's see. I just became a notary. So here's a question that I'm going to bring up. I just became a notary. Would love to get a contract. How can I start? So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to drop our ticker. Apply for a free strategy session with us at look at all the new tech, y'all. I'm so excited about this little scrolling thing. Our streaming service just upgraded. So $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com to schedule a free strategy call with my team. We'll make sure that we can help you and we can show you step by step exactly how to get started with government contracts so that you are able to do business on the local, state, and federal government level. So that is how you get started. And I'm glad that you mentioned that you are a notary. You may have seen our recent testimonials about Dominica, who actually came in as a notary service agent as well and landed her first contract in just 5 weeks, right? With the Department of Housing. So it is so possible to land contracts with notary services, as well as you guys know, with pretty much any type of service that you have to offer. Okay. So that is let me see. So hopefully that answers your question. Go ahead and schedule your call with us today. We're waiting to help you. Right. So $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com, as well as, of course, there's a plethora of free information, of course, on my new YouTube channel. But definitely if you're ready to do the work, ready to do the stuff, take the action, ready to get all your questions answered in a meaningful way to where it gets you signed contracts, then go ahead and book your strategy session with us today. Okay. Let me look and see what other questions do we have in the chat. For those who, if anybody else still want to join us, make sure you join us by going to that link to join and ask your question live. You can do that. So we have Miss Mo Shelton. Okay, Mo Shelton. My main question is, once you have accepted the contract, no matter the duration, how soon does the government pay you out? Do you have to complete the contract in its entirety to get started getting paid? Okay, good question, Mo, and I'm glad that you asked that. So here's the answer to that. Let me see if I can maneuver feeding babies and being live. We try to make it work. All right. So here is the answer to your question. Once you accept the contract, usually there is a there's like a period of time where you have to sign, get all your like necessary documents in, which whether if that be like an insurance, general liability documentation or whatever. So you have to go through that formal process first, right? Once you get a notice to proceed, right, which is basically like an indication that now you can start the work and start delivering and everything like that. What you would typically look at in your contract, it'll have like, what is your pay terms, right? What is your negotiated pay terms? And notice I say negotiated. Your payment terms are negotiated, whether it's you want to get paid every 2 weeks after delivering services every 2 weeks, or however, delivering products every 2 weeks, whatever. You want to negotiate what your terms are going to be. Typically, it's like 30 days, 45 days, or like a 90-day term, right? So you want to negotiate something around 30 days or whatever, unless mostly the federal government pays you like within like 14 days or something like that, as little as that. So it depends on how your contract is set up, what you've negotiated, and how long your contract is for. So if you have a 5-year contract, of course you're not going to have to wait 5 years to get paid. So if the service that you're offering is every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks you want to invoice and get paid. If it's something that you're like, well, I want to invoice 30 days, right? It's something that I'm doing, working a little bit, a few days out of the month. At the end of the month, I want to submit an invoice, and my 30-day net gets me paid 30 days later. So that's basically how it happens. Sometimes for some specific contracts that you've negotiated this, you can actually ask for a certain percentage upfront, and not every agency will do that, but some of them will, to help you kind of mobilize if you kind of need the cash flow in order to get started with the work that you need to do. So hopefully that answers your question. But of course, you don't have to wait, and you should not, and you don't want to. And I don't think they will let you wait until the end of your contract, right, to pay you all out at once. Yeah, but you do have to do the work in order to get paid. All right. So hopefully that answers your question, Mo. All right. So we have, okay, so the SAP, let's see. Screaming right now. Who is this? This boy, you better not choke yourself. He over here gulping. All right, so Tamisha. Okay, so Tamisha, I thought that this was a very unique question, especially during the time that we are in with the pandemic and all that stuff. So do you have to have vaccination to get government contracts? No, you do not, right? Now most of the stuff, like you're not going to be working with government agents, right? You're not in their office working most of the stuff, right? Unless you're doing something like what do you call it? Diversity inclusion training, or something like we're doing PowerPoint presentations or showing you how to set up your software or something like that, where you got to be in their building. And of course, in that case, they may have some building restrictions where you have to wear a mask, or but usually I haven't seen anything that says you have to be vaccinated, right? So for most of the projects, if you're dealing with people, then you want to protect yourself and you want to protect those people anyway. But I haven't seen anything go in a contract that says you have to be vaccinated to get a contract. No, that I don't know where you've read that, but you definitely don't have to do that. But every agency or building or whatever it is, whoever it is that you're doing business with, normally they would require masks inside the building or some type of social distancing. All this stuff is still brand new, right? So there's really no firm across the board rules about it, but people do want to protect themselves. So no, you don't have to, you don't have to be vaccinated in order to get a government contract. If that was the case, people who have contracts will be losing them right now. If they had contracts pre-COVID, they will be losing them because most of them don't want to get vaccinated anyway, but they will wear masks. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. So let me see. What other questions do we have? Trafinia, does the DOD, that would have been a good question for Lawan, purchase food products? I believe they do. So pretty sure they do. So let's see, burial assistance. Let's see. Oh, if you guys want to join live, this is the link, streamyard.com/7DKVJXWD6X. Those are the type of links that they give us for you guys to join live. But that is the link to join live if you have questions. So I am active in SAM, wondering what are my next steps, Dr. ER. I'm glad that you asked that question. If on my YouTube, and I see that you're joining from YouTube, there is a training about I'm SAM certified. What is next? SAM is just the beginning, right? However, SAM allows you to be able to do business with the federal government, right? However, there's the state and there's the local. So how much do you want to go after? Do you want to be completely optimized to do business on all levels? And if so, that is next to continue your certifications, right? But if you're SAM active, now you can bid, right? So the next step will be to figure out how you're going to market yourself. You want to make sure you have a capability statement, right? At least to proactively build relationships. But also you definitely want to see, well, what is it that you're selling? Maybe do some research around, who have gotten contracts in these areas before and how much did they price it for? So you can kind of start building out your pricing structure, because most people don't know exactly how to price the government. You don't want to price them the same way you were priced like an individual person, because the government pays well, right? They pay you your actual value for the services that you're offering. But also, so the next step is really to be looking for opportunities, whether you're looking at beta.sam.gov for opportunities, or you have some type of third party search engine that's sending you notifications of contracting opportunities on the federal level. Like Bid Search or USA Ops, I think it's called, or something like that. So there's a bunch of third-party bid searching engines that are out there that can kind of do the research for you and send you solicitations. But you definitely want to look for opportunities and you want to bid on those opportunities. That is really ideally the next step, right? You're certified. Now you want to look for opportunities and you want to bid on opportunities. Okay. So if you're not bidding, you're not winning. Okay. So that is definitely something that you want to do. We can, exactly show you some bidding strategies and, some systematic things that you can put in place to make sure that not only are you receiving passive opportunities, but you're proactively looking for opportunities and that you're proactively bidding on contracting opportunities so that you can actually get some results with your efforts. Okay. So next question we have coming up is, can you get a government contract with a rental truck? So Vicky, hello, Vicky. I'm not exactly sure about that question. So it just depends. So if you're meaning like with a rental truck, like are you using that truck to do some hauling? And that is how you're actually delivering that service by renting it because maybe you don't own a truck, then absolutely, yeah, you can do that. And what you want to do is if you have an expense, like you're renting a truck or something like that, so that you can provide a trucking hauling service or deliverable service or whatever, you want to include the cost of renting that service in your quote so that the project pays for itself and that you're not out of pocket, basically, losing money in order to actually deliver that. So you want to make sure that you include that expense and the gas and the mileage and the rental. And then you want to include a little percentage above that. So you're making money on the rental, plus you're making money for your service. So hopefully take that game and use it. Take that game and use it. All right. Let me look at some. Let me see. And this is a good fact and that LaJuan brought up. And this is true. Some contracts require primes or subs, primes to sub out a large percentage of their contracts to a small business, sometimes 50% in some cases. So sometimes you'll see that they have an obligation to or goal on that particular prime contract to sub out maybe like 20%, 15%, but it can go up to at least 50% on some projects. And most people, so basically you want to look for who are the primes. So that is one of the strategies that we teach in our program is like, find out who are the prime contractors that can utilize your stuff, right? So for instance, not all, let's just say, for instance, you want to do you have a janitorial company, you want to work with primes, right? Or you want to do it as a subcontractor. Number one, a prime could be another larger janitorial company, right? They could be a prime that give you a particular scope of work or maybe a particular building or whatever as a subcontract, right? But who else uses janitorial services? So you want to think about that. Maybe general contractors, they use janitorial services because they need construction cleanup, right? So you want to think about who are the different larger other industry, prime contractors who can utilize my service, right? So you have to really think outside the box, and then once you know who they are, let them know who you are, right? So you can do that by simply emailing them, picking up the phone and calling them. And a lot of times people say, well, I've emailed, them, but they don't respond, right? So how many times have you sent the email? Usually it's once, right? I mean, how many emails do you get a day? I don't even know how. I get so many emails a day. There's no way I can keep up. There's absolutely no way I can check every single email, and I don't even try to do it anymore. Like 1,000 emails a day, plus some. So if they don't respond to your email, a few days later, pick up the phone and say, hey, I sent an email, just want to make sure you got it or whatever. And usually I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I didn't even see that. It's in my spam, or it got buried or whatever. But do the follow-up. Follow up is king. Follow up is king. So you definitely want to follow up with people. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we're almost done. We're almost done here. So what are the questions? So I'm going to go to Christine's questions. Christina, I have filled out my Duns and Bra. I know what you mean. Duns and Brad, your DMB. But I just wanted to say it anyway. I filled out my Dun and Brad with the state, opening an account in my business name, but stuck on filing with Sam's. Can you help me? I have all my NAICS codes ready. Yes, we can help you. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see a scrolling thing that says apply for a free business strategy session. We can help you in our program, or you can go to shesgotgoals.com/consult and book a 30-minute or 60-minute consultation with me if that's the only thing like you need help with. Usually I don't just do the only thing type of thing, because I like to give people the full strategy of what we're doing, because that our full strategy gets you help. But if you already have a full strategy and you just want, but obviously you probably don't, because you need help with just that part. So anyway, $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com will show you exactly what you need to do. We can help you and make sure that you get through that daunting process. Okay, so you don't have to do it alone. We can help you, right? See, is it required to list one industry? Oh, you asked that question. I think you came on live. Okay. Desiree, I'm Desiree Williams. I'm a veteran, right? So hopefully you get your service disabled veteran or veteran business certification if you are service disabled. Make sure that you get that, because not only you being a woman in business is powerful and people need to leverage that, but veteran-owned businesses, of course, there's not very many certified, and there's set aside contracts that go unclaimed all the time. So I tried to do the Dun and Brad and haven't heard back. Are there free classes? Are free classes still available? So Dun and Brad, follow up, call them. So go to freednb.com, call them. If you haven't heard anything back, maybe they're emailing you, because if you applied, you're going to get an answer, right? So it could be in your spam, but make sure that you at least give them a call, and they'll let you know exactly where your application, status stands. Okay. All right. So it depends on the individual. Let me see. What other questions? What other questions do you guys have? I'm gonna look at some of the newer questions that may be down here. So hopefully this session is very valuable for you guys. So where can I find prime contractors for notary services? Let me see. Let's see. Corporate housing. I'm trying to scan through questions to see which ones would like really, really, really help a lot of people. Corporate housing. All right, so let me bring up Shirley's question. My husband is a disabled veteran with a startup training and development business. I also have a company and have done third-party government contracts, but never held a contract as a prime. Since he worked under my company while I was a third-party contractor, can we use that? Yeah, experience for, yeah, of course, to bid for a prime contract. Yes, you can. So you can use, the thing about experience is it doesn't have to be experience when it comes to past performance. It doesn't have to be experience that you've had with the government. experience is experience. Whether you went to school and got education, whether you went to some training class or a workshop, or whether you've done it for yourself and your family, all of that experience you definitely want to use as leverage to getting opportunities. So yes, if you've done, especially done subcontracting stuff on a government contract, that is amazing experience. You definitely want to use that. It doesn't matter if it was in your business as a sub or for somebody else, or you did it as a side hustle. You definitely still want to be able to use that as your experience. So Ural, can you explain how to get security contracts for startup and security companies, or where to start looking? Okay, so if you're a startup company, for security, it doesn't matter if you're a startup or not. Do you have the experience? Do you have the guard card? Do you have the business documentation that you need, legal documents in order to do business, with the government? And yes, if the answer is yes, where you get started looking is first, make sure you have your certifications, because of course certifications is your golden ticket to set aside contracting opportunities. It gives you leverage to be first in line on projects that are only for small businesses. So you definitely want to have your certifications. And then once you're certified, the agencies that you certify with actually have bid procurement portals or whatever they have. So some of them would post things publicly. This is what we need. These are the contracting opportunities. This is who we're looking for, scope of work, all that stuff. And then some of them, basically you can reach out to some of these agencies and ask them, like, do you have any needs in this area? Or whatever. So, but the other thing I was going to say is some of them allows you to be able to log into their portal in order to see the opportunities. And so, so it doesn't matter if you're a startup, you look for them in the same place on the site. So for instance, if you're certified with the city to do contracting with the city, you can actually go to the city bids department, like online, right? So say just Google city of Carson, whatever city you're in, city of Carson, bids, and it'll pop up on Google. You just click on the link and it's going to show you all the contracting opportunities with that city that you're certified with. Or state of Atlanta, Georgia, state of Georgia bids, and it's going to show you the bids portal, right? Or you can say Department of Transportation for Florida bids, and that will come up. You'll be able to see that. And again, there are third-party search engines services that actually go out and look for those things for you based on the NAICS codes that you sign up with them to receive notifications for, and they'll send you, here's the solicitations based off the codes that you indicated you're interested in looking at. All right. So I'm going to take one more question. All right, so let's see. I'm going to take one more question and then I have to go, actually, because I'm going to be doing a summit, the influencer summit. I'm going to be on that panel. So let me see. Let me see. You're getting feed a baby and still getting it done. Yeah. So you got to do what you got to do. Right? You got to do what you got to do. Diva Matrix, you say you're feeding the baby and still getting it done. And I wanted to be an example to women entrepreneurs that you can have kids, you can have babies and all that stuff and still be a boss, right? You can still, educate and coach and train and, do your job. And my baby be with me. I'm doing a video thing next week. He's going to be right there in the stroller. I'm going to bring somebody to watch him while I film, all that stuff. So yeah, there's no excuses out here to go after your dreams. And I did that in middle age, having a baby, right? So all my kids are pretty much 18 and up. They're grown, 16. So my youngest is 16 before him. My oldest is 23 and I have one in between. She's just turned 18. So all my kids are dang near always almost grown and independent. So I have a baby that I started over in my 40s, right? So most people be like, oh, you're starting over in 40s. No, I'm still continuing in my 40s because I can still do that in my 40s. And guess what? As an entrepreneur, you work for yourself. When you level up and do things that allows you the freedom, now you don't have to worry about childcare and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about those things because you're your own boss. So if you want to be your own boss, I'm just telling you, you got to get in the boss game and do something meaningful, right? And do something that actually gives you the lifestyle, right? Income, the meaningful income, right? Government contracting is that. Okay. So prime example Yes, you can make money while breastfeeding. Yeah, you can. Let's see. It's all about balance and boundaries. Yes, it is. Absolutely. So I'm trying to find another question that I have not seen yet, and that's going to be um the last question that I have for today that I share. Let's see. My mom question is, once you have accepted a contract. Oh, I think I did that. Oh, yeah, I looked at that. Yeah, I think let's see. So I don't see any questions that I haven't answered yet. I don't think. Let me see. What are the best programs to use to put in bids? Oh, so okay, so I'm gonna answer that question. Spring. All right, cool. So what's the best program to use for putting out bids? So they have a bunch of different softwares out there. Most of those softwares are not for I would say professional service providers like myself. Professional service providers meaning like you provide communication services or event planning or photography or something that's service based, right? Most of those softwares are for like if you're in construction and you have like to go buy material in order to do the job, or you're in carpentry or something like that, and you have to buy carpet and all the parts that go to it in order to do the job. So those particular software, if that's the type of industry you're in, those particular softwares, they have Takeoff, right? They're a little expensive, pricey, but you may find some that are online that are a little bit more competitive in pricing. But Takeoff is one of them. So basically you can put in, like, say you're doing a home, right? And you do flooring, right? You can put in how much the floor costs. You can kind of build in the templates of how much it costs depending on the different type of tiles or whatever, or materials per square feet and all that stuff. So when you go in there, you can say, oh, this project is going to be 1,000 square feet. I'm using this this particular material. It's going to take this many hours, whatever. You just drop that in and the software will spit out your quote and your bid for you, your proposal, the quote part at least. Other than that, if you're more professional service based and basically you're charging an hourly rate or something like that, then you can just use, you can use Word, you can use Excel, or I use Canva. So Canva is free, canva.com. I use them for free, right? So I have my Canva template, my bid template, and all I do is update the scope of work and the pricing based off whatever they ask me to provide services for. So Canva is free. But yeah, so those Takeoff services, I seen some other software, but you can just Google bid estimating softwares, right? And then there's a whole host of them. None that I don't use any of them because my industry doesn't require it, but there's a whole host of them. But the keyword that you look for is estimating softwares. Okay, you're welcome. All right, cool. So that is it for today. Hopefully this has been helpful, you guys. $1,000,000governmentcontracts.com. Listen, I am just talking about, let me see how I'm trying to figure out how to take that off the screen. Okay. So I am just really here to make sure that you guys get what you need today. That's going to take you to the next level. So to ask me anything, if you like this session, like if you like to ask me anything, let me know in the chat and maybe we'll do another one in the near future. So we're in December. Okay. So 2 months ago, like, let me see, November, October, October, November. So the last quarter, right? So October, I told y'all this was going to come so fast. Like December, we're almost to the end of the year, right? And I said, if you get started in October, you can actually land a contract or more before the end of the year. So some of you took advantage of that. Some of you landed contracts in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or whatever, and now you're in the ball game. But others, so many more of others are still waiting from October and are still asking the same questions from January of this year, and you're not landing contracts. And that is because simply, I don't know what's the holdback, but I want to help you. And this is the reason why I had this, like, ask me anything, whatever is holding you back. I want to answer those questions so that you can actually get started with getting results. Government contracting is something that's life-changing, right? There's so many opportunities that are going unclaimed every single day. And you don't necessarily even have to look for things that are in your scope of work. There's things out there that nobody responds to. For instance, Gloria, who landed her first quarter of $1 million contract just a few weeks ago. She actually went through my program and learned how to do government contracting for her travel business. Okay. So she saw an opportunity to provide mammograms for women, right? And she's like, well, I don't do mammograms, but it don't look like nobody's responding to this. So let me do that. Okay. So she partnered with a doctor, another Black woman doctor, to provide the service. And now she's $250,000 richer today because number one, she invested in the education to learn how to do this. And number two, she understood, because this is what we teach you inside our program, how to think outside the box and how to go after low-hanging fruit, how to just go after things, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be your thing, but it's an opportunity. And if you want to go after it, you can. So whatever it is that's holding you back from getting started with government contracting, I want to help you today, okay? Schedule a strategy session, trilliondollargovernmentcontracts.com. We have a team. I have a team of business specialists that will ask you questions about your business, and we can give you a game, and so we can know exactly how we're going to help you before we even offer to enroll you into our program. If you get the offer to enroll you into our program, that's because we guarantee we can help you, period, point blank, right? So if there's something guaranteed on the table to show you exactly how to participate in this multiple trillions of dollars that's spent, and show you how to build relationships and show you how to connect with primes and show you how to bid and price your services and do we show you everything. Like, we show you every single thing you need to know, so you no longer have to ask those different types of questions, because those questions get answered, and they get answered by me live, by me, by my team, and by other people in a program who are winning government contracts. Okay, so the small investment, and this is what Gloria did. Did she have 10,000, 6,000, or whatever it is, the cost of the program, depending on the level that you want to work with me at? Yeah, there's an investment. Did she have that? No, but guess what? She had her 401k, and she said, you know what? I'm gonna pull this out of my 401k because I believe in myself. So if you believe in you and you do the work, you will get the results. So do you think she knew that pulling 6,000, 10,000 out of her 401k was going to get her that first $250,000, and that's the first, right? So by January, that's going to be double or triple, because she's up for a whole nother contracting opportunity by January. Life-changing stuff. So don't allow the investment in education. Yes, you have to invest in education. Some people invested in college education, hundreds of thousands of dollars, never worked in their industry. I'm one of them. And forever will have to pay that back, right? This right here is the best education you can invest in, because number one, you learn how to make money. You're investing in something that's teaching you how to make money. There's a win-win. There's no way to lose in that way, and how to make it forever, and how to turn. I think I talked about this a few weeks ago. How to make $1 out of 15 cents, okay? Or how to make $1,000 or $1 million out of 15 cents. Literally, that is what you learn, okay? This is what we help you with. So trilliondollargovernmentcontracts.com, book a call. I'm telling you, no other program provider that I know care enough about you to create payment plans, right? And to partner with finance companies to help you try to figure it out, and to create resources, ways that you can think about, where can I find the money to invest? And so anyway, so we've gone above and beyond, right? So, and here's the other thing. Right now, this is the thing. I haven't even announced this. Right now is the best time, because like, your girl is international now. Like, you're going to see me on international news. You see me on international interviews, international media, all that stuff. So next year, everything is going up. Like, our value, our pricing, everything that we're offering, we're going to bring on more consultants, more coaches, everything is going up. So right now is the best time to get us while we're ball game low. Like, we're super low, right? That investment is nothing right now, but it's a little bit of something for you to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to believe in myself and invest in the education that I need, so that I can learn how to make millions of dollars, change my life, and build a legacy, right? So right now is the best time to book your call and to actually work with us inside our program before, the prices go up. Prices go up, you're going to be like, oh, back in January, back in back in December, the pricing was such and such. Can I get that hookup now? No, it's gonna be over, right? So it's been a whole year, and you've been following me and talking about I'm gonna remember the double dutch thing that I was talking about with my friend. She would always go like this when she getting ready to jump in, but she would never jump in. We'd be like, hurry up and jump in and quit playing, or I'm gonna jump in for you, right? Don't miss out on the opportunity to work with me at this level. Okay, so that's it. So Diva says she saw that. So you saw that international interview, and I'm going to be on the list. I just did my interview Monday, so that's going to be airing. And you guys, nobody knows this stuff yet. So I was interviewed on the list. I got some stuff coming up on the Today Show. So it's going global because I want to make sure that my message resonates with minority businesses globally, especially in the US, because guess what? There's so much going on. You have to financially secure yourself. And entrepreneurship, having a small business is the way to do it if you don't know that yet. And I was trying to figure out, thank you all. I was trying to figure out, and yes, the current pricing ends after December 31st. Yeah, so January it's going to be all new pricing and all that stuff. So let us help you with the financial resources that we have available to you. Even if you gotta, come in and be like, well, I probably may not be able to apply for, a line of credit in order to pay because my credit is jacked up. We show you how to fix your credit. We have resources. You may have to invest a little bit in how to fix your credit, but yeah, we have resources to show you how to fix your credit so you can apply for financing. So that won't no longer be an issue, right? So, what I was going to say was so there's amazing things that are happening. I'm excited. I hope that you're excited. We can't wait to help you become the next millionaire for your family. And I forgot what I was just about to say, but I'm good at what I do. So you will never even know if I didn't tell you that, right? So anyway, education, invest in your education, invest in your knowledge, invest in your business, invest in you, believe in you, all that stuff, right? So there's some amazing things. I think I'm getting ready to go into the influencer summit in about an hour. So I'm gonna cut. But if there aren't any other questions, I'm gonna see you guys next week. But I'm gonna be looking for the applications that come through. And here's what I'm gonna do for those who book today. Okay. Again, I always go above and beyond. Here's what I'm gonna do for those who book today, and I'm gonna have to let my administrative assistant know this. I'm gonna give you 20% off. So if you missed the 20% off Black Friday opportunity, I'm going to extend that for today only, right? I'm going to give you a code if you book today. I'm going to give that code to all of my business account executives that are taking calls. I'm going to give them that code and you can get 20% off. So there's two levels that we work together. One is a six-week group coaching program. That particular investment is $6,000, okay? $6,000, so 20% off. That's a 6-week program. You learn everything you need to know in 6 weeks. This is how people are landing contracts in the 5th week or the 8th week of being inside the program. Now, for some of you and most people, they're like, I want to be VIP. I want people to I want you to do the paperwork for me. And also I want to stay with you a little bit longer. So you can stay with me for 3 months. And I help you in a VIP setting and actually sit down and show you, work with you on your bids that you're looking at, help you with bid strategies, help you track bids and all that stuff. Those are for VIPs. That particular investment today is $10,000. All of this stuff is going to change in January. So it's going up. So 20% off, right? So I'm going to give you 20% off if you book your call today. All right, book it now. Look that guy, proud of Carl. Oh, I don't even know who that is. It just says Facebook user. So look at God. Proud of you, Kawana. Many blessings for helping me. Thank you. All right, cool. Dineros. I love the name. Money Queen. All right, cool. All right, so that is it for today. I'm going to see you guys on the money side. I'll see you guys on the money side, right? And I'm going to actually go get that code together so I can give to my team. So when you actually book and enroll, we're going to give you 20% off today only. All right, cool. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.